What's up, everybody? Have you ever felt like you're drowning in quicksand? Let's be honest. If we're really being real about it, you ain't never felt like you were stuck. You lying. Like, you lying to yourself, actually, because like the old folks used to say, just keep on living. But for the people that's like being real about it, we all felt like we were stuck somewhere, stuck in a loop, stuck on our everyday grind, stuck trying to do everything that we need to do, and we just feel like we're not getting nowhere. So that's the whole point of feeling like you're stuck in quicksand. But I'll tell you off top, you are not alone. Because feeling stuck or hitting a brick wall, mostly all of us get to a point where that's what we're doing. We hit that same brick wall. If I can give you a cheat code from hitting that brick wall, it's personal development. And I'm just gonna be honest with you. If you're not doing personal development, you're gonna stay stuck in quicksand. It's about unlocking the best version of yourself. And if you can't get to where you're going if you don't start doing the personal development, and I mean mentally, emotionally, spiritually, if you're not putting in the work for yourself, you're going to stay stuck in quicksand. It's like when you start to grow, everything around you will start to shift. And it sounds simple. Like I can make it sound simple, but I'm saying it like it's simple, but it's not simple. You have to put the personal work in, because if you don't put that personal work in, you're basically going to keep being stuck, and you're going to keep feeling like you are falling behind or going nowhere and going nowhere quickly, and it starts to stack up on itself. But the thing you could do is, let's start to level up our minds. Let's get our minds right. If we start to transform our mind, like in the Bible, it says on Romans 12:2, we be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that's just the Bible verse, so y'all would like to think. But if you go past the Bible verse and really think about it, they're telling you to work on your inner self. Stop getting caught up in all this other stuff. Work on your inner self. And when you start to work on your inner self, whether it's learning how to manage your time or learning how to grow incrementally, like I told you yesterday, the small steps get you to where you're trying to go faster. But you got to develop your clarity and get it to where you're trying to go. Because if you develop the clarity of your mind, I guess that's what I'm saying, to get your clarity in your mind for your personal development for yourself, you can do what you're trying to do, and you can get there faster. For me, anybody that know me will tell you that I've come a long way. Like, I used to be, I can just remember one period of time in my life, I probably smoked about at least a pound of weed a month. But the growth that, the work that I had to do was internal. And I'm trying to share my story with y'all so y'all can understand, or y'all can start to work on yourselves. You're not stuck. You're stuck in your mind because nobody's coming to save you. And the only person that can save you is yourself. So if I could share my story with y'all and try to, hopefully y'all get to a point where y'all understand that when you start to feel like you're stuck, you don't have to look outside. You just have to look internal. And once you start to look internal, you can actually make the moves that you need to make to do the things you need to do. Okay, so now I'm gonna give you a couple actionable items that you can do to make yourself start to work on the cycle of personal development. How about for starters, let's take 10 minutes daily every day to reflect. Don't sound like nothing, but it's a lot. If you can just reflect on what you're doing, you think about it, and write it down. Because if you don't write it down, or I ain't gonna say that. Yeah, I would say write it down. But if you don't think about it, if you're not willing to acknowledge it, how you gonna change it? You know what's going on, but you gotta actually deal with that same pain from yourself. Like I said, so acknowledge it, write it down, and start to work on it. Once you start to work on it, you set some micro goals. Like you might have a big dream, but break it down into small increments and work on it, and just go on it every day. I think Kobe said it best when you just keep working at it every day. It might not look like it's doing nothing, but in a year, 2 years, 3, 5 years, they start to build on each other, and you start to grow. And then once you start to grow, you'll get your way out of that quicksand that I'm talking about. Another step I think you should take, invest in some reading. Like, a lot of people, we always hear they hide stuff in books, but we don't even read no more. Like, when we was in school, they made us hate school. And by them making us hate school, since we've left school, how many of us have actually picked up a book? And what's crazy about that, pick up a book to learn something that you want to learn. Like, that's what's crazy to me, because you can actually go pick up a book and learn what you want to learn in the library. The book that you want to learn what you need to learn to get you out of that quicksand is in there. But you're not even willing to go to the library and get that book. That's crazy to me. And I understand why. Because like I said, they made us hate school. But since you've left school, only place you're getting your information from is the news, TV shows. They're filling your mind with negative information. Stuff that is not helping you. And if it's not helping you, what is it doing? It's hurting you. Exactly. So, like I said, one of my suggestions was pick up a book. If you want my suggestion, I give you one. The best book I think anybody should get, as far as trying to pull themselves out of quicksand, is The Gap in the Game by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. I think that book is paramount for anybody who's trying to pull themselves out of a rut, to understand why they're in a rut. I would say another step. I would say find an accountability partner. Once you find an accountability partner, you can they can hold you accountable to your own self. Because if you say you go do it and they hold you accountable, they can start calling you out on the carpet. Like, you said you go do X, Y, and Z, but you're not doing it. So let's start there. Get your accountability partner. And just like in the Bible, iron sharpens iron. So if iron sharpens iron, you want to get around somebody that's at least got some knowledge to give you, to share with you. So, because if you're the smartest person in the room, I'm just going to be honest with you, you're in the wrong room. Like, literally. You shouldn't, if you even think you're in the smartest person in the room, get out of that room and go get in another room. I see you, Dewan. Accountability. That's what I'm talking about. We got to get accountability partners. Yes, sir. But look, and then outside of that, I want you to, let me see, okay? I want you to listen. Listen to yourself. Listen to your heart. Listen to your mind, to where you're trying to go. Like, you know where you need to go, but you're fighting your internal self, because you know the moves to make. But by you fighting your internal self, you really have, it's like you're doubting yourself, even though you know what to do. That's why you need clarity. That's why, here goes something. I didn't want to bring it up, but I'll bring it up anyway. when we gonna start praying for ourselves? Mama prayed for us, grandma prayed for us, but when we go pray for ourselves? Because at some point, we got to get to a point where we got to be responsible for our own spiritual journey, whatever that looks like. Because nowadays, everybody seems to think it got something to do with church. I don't think it got nothing to do with church. I think it got to do with you and your relationship with God. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but you can't depend on your parents to do your praying for yourself. You have to do your own praying. So, like I said, the feeling of being stuck, it's just like saying, it's time to grow. I feel like it's life's way telling you it's time to grow. You're stuck. If you feel like you're stuck, life is telling you it's time to grow. So let's make a move. Let's start to get at it. We gotta trust God that. Let me see. Okay, hold up. Trust God. When God trying to tell you to work, you gotta grow. You gotta look back and realize that you're stuck in that season for a reason. And if you're stuck in that season for a reason, you're hitting a wall. I mean, you're hitting the wall for a reason. It's okay to step back. A step back don't mean you're going backwards. Step back, take a side step, and keep moving forward. But you have to step back so you can see, because if you're too close up on the wall, you can't make a move. But if you can step back, you can see, oh, step sideways, the door wide open. But you have to be willing to take that step back. And for me, like I said, man, I appreciate y'all for coming in this live. But I'm going to close it with this one. I'm going to let y'all know off top. Let's make it personal with it. Decide where you're stuck at. If this is your stuck season, what are we doing for the next season? It's almost, 2 months left in the season? You stuck. Let's start planning now for how we finna move for the next season coming up. How we moving? Because I don't want you to get into January talking about some New Year's resolution and all that. You could have been planning right now how you finna make your moves. So let's start planning to make those moves now. Decide what it is you're trying to do. Let's do it. We're not surviving no more. Let's get out of survival mode. Let's start thriving. When you start thriving, you can help people around you. But as long as you're feeling like you're stuck, you can't help nobody. Right? So, like I said, nobody can stop you from making yourself grow. But I'm gonna just go be honest with you. Nobody's gonna help you grow either. You stuck and you sitting there looking for help. The last time I think people helped each other was like when we was kids, maybe till about 12. But you become a teenager and older, it get worse the older you get. Ain't nobody coming to help you. Only way to get out of that quicksand is personal development. Like you said, right, that's right, Janikas. I appreciate you showing up. Thrive over survive. Off top. Get out of that quicksand, everybody. So, like I said, I told y'all what to do. Focus on yourself. Start working on your inner self. And if you need any help that I can personally help you with, reach out to me. Leave a DM. Matter of fact, turn on y'all notifications for me. And because I'm gonna be going live every night. I'm trying to get y'all some jewels, anything I can think of. I'm starting to take some notes so I can keep my thoughts going. But I want to be able to help you guys move forward. I don't know what I'm gonna be talking about from day to day, but you just gotta tap in with me. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna open up a YouTube and do all that. But I plan on going live every night because I know I have some jewels to give you. I don't know what's gonna be the jewel that's gonna give you, but I'm gonna constantly keep doing this. So I thank you guys for showing up and being part of my live. I appreciate you.